everyone. So I just wanted to give an update on my journey because I feel like the past 2 weeks have been such a roller coaster. We've been reevaluating everything. In my last video about my first steps, I had talked about how we went to a naturopathic doctor in Minnesota and he had recommended certain things. Well, through our research, and we've been really, really going down the rabbit hole with triple negative breast cancer and just my certain gene mutations that I have and my pathways that cancer's finding, we found that there were certain things that he had recommended which were actually giving cancer the upper hand. So one of those was glutathione. If you recall that he had recommended using that, and after doing the IVs of vitamin C, well, glutathione is a no-go for triple negative breast cancer. Even though for a healthy person, it's a really good thing, the cancer is going to use it as fuel. So this also includes bone broth. Bone broth is very high in it, and I had talked about using that. Although I think one of the major things I needed to do was heal my gut. And I did that, 10-day water fast, and it really was healing to my gut and then adding that bone broth in. So perhaps maybe that was something I still needed at that time, but definitely not anymore. He had also recommended NAC as a supplement to clear copper. NAC is also one of those that you just want to stay away from if you have triple negative breast cancer. The other thing we had asked him about was methionine. Now, this is an amino acid that is found in a lot of protein. And just from my connecting with other women and doing our research, we found out that you really want to stay away from this too. And that's why a whole food, plant-based diet is best for this type of cancer. I was on a very clean keto, and he had told me that that was the right way to go because of the glucose receptors. So all in all, we're just, finding it very hard to be able to trust someone. And so that's what, just a second. This guy, and she is getting tired. So all in all, we've been trying to navigate this on our own, and I actually found a really good book, and Iona has it here. Iona, do you want to show it? So this is the book, How to Starve Cancer by Jane McLelland. It is backwards in my camera, but has been a wealth of information. I'm also taking her online course, and basically we're learning all about how to block all those pathways that my specific cancer has. So it's been a lot of just rethinking, reevaluating everything. I have a new routine. Also, today I actually had a phone call with Care Oncology, which is recommended by Jane in her book and in her course. They will prescribe you the off-label or repurposed drugs that are able to block certain pathways, and I'll go through that. And every cancer is just so different, and that's the thing I'm learning. Like, you really need to delve into your specific kind, and the overwhelm is so real. I mean, sometimes I just feel like giving up. It's so overwhelming, but at the same time, I have 3 little kids that need me. I have a husband that needs me, so I can't give up. So that's kind of where I'm at now. I did do another 3-day water fast. I am losing a lot of weight, so I don't know how much I can sustain doing fasts every month. I needed to lose a little bit of weight. I had, 3 babies in 2.5 years, so I had baby weight to lose. But at this point, I think I've lost, like almost 30 pounds. And I was, on a really clean keto diet. But now, as I'm learning more about methionine. It seems like the best way for this specific cancer, not all cancers, but it's to do a whole food, plant-based diet. And it's tough. It's not what I wanted to hear. I definitely do not want to be eating this way, but if it's gonna, my cancer is gonna feed on, one of the, it's chaos around here. And on that amino acid, I really have to be careful about that. So, we decided to go ahead with Care Oncology, even though it's another almost $2,500. One thing is that cancer will really drain their finances for sure. So, we have a trip to Florida coming up, and we were even like, should we cancel? But we ultimately decided that we had planned this, and we need to be living life. And I don't even think our tickets were refundable, but that's kind of where we've been at. It's been just a lot of ups and downs, a lot of emotions, a lot of just trying to figure this out on our own. And I think having this Dr. Zhang is his name. He has great credentials from, Yale, Stanford. He specializes in metabolic oncology. So we really think that having him on our team is just going to be great, since it has been, sometimes it can feel a bit lonely, and trying to find someone to trust. So I am just going to share my screen so I can show you my new routine in case anyone's on this journey wants to get some insight. And this is through a lot of research we've done, and hopefully with Care Oncology, we'll be able to get some of these other prescriptions and get some of this more potent stuff going. So when I wake up, I drink lemon water, freshly squeezed lemon water. I'm taking milk thistle to support the liver. Choline also supports the liver. Curcumin, an anti-inflammatory, it also does wonders to block certain pathways. And then 20 minutes before eating, berberine, that's going to block glucose. We would like to replace that with metformin, which is a diabetic drug. That would just be a stronger form of it. Quercetin with resveratrol, blocking pathways. Boswellia, that's frankincense. DIM is an estrogen regulator. Another thing we found with my cancer, even though it doesn't have the normal estrogen receptors, the alpha ones, triple negative can have beta estrogen receptors. So you do want to regulate your estrogen. And I do believe that this played a huge part in me getting cancer. I had taken a certain birth control that I believe had really, if not caused it, it fed it enormously. So ECGC, the substance in green tea, again, the doctor in Mankato, said to stay away from green tea. We're finding that it's actually something that can stimulate my T cells, so the immune response, since my immune system's having a hard time locating the tumor and identifying it as something malignant. We're thinking about adding that hydroxychloroquine. I actually do have that prescription, sticking with the same things I've been doing. And then just we're thinking of membenzidol, which is another antiparasitic drug. It's similar to fenbendazole. It blocks a lot of pathways. People have had a lot of great results with it. I'll stay on a lot of the vitamins. One interesting thing I found is I likely have this gene mutation, the MTHR. I believe my children do too. So if you know anything about that gene mutation, you really need to get extra folate and B12. So that is B vitamins to help. And then I'm kind of just repeating a lot of the same things I would be taking. I do have a fenbendazole that I'm not certain of the potency. It came from Lithuania, and that's why I would really like to get this prescription for the membenzidol. And then before bed, I'm taking citrus bergamot which will block the fatty acid pathway, which is big with triple negative breast cancer. A lot of times, metabolic oncologists will recommend statins, which are really hard on the body. They're hard on the kidneys. So this is a great alternative. Melatonin. I'm doing, here comes Iona again. My videos are so all over the place today because my kids. Therapeutic green coffee enemas. This has been a huge one for detox. Iona, you want to say hi? And then I have medical grade cannabis suppositories from a doctor, although I am finding these hard to tolerate and I haven't been doing them. They're supposedly supposed to bypass the liver and not give you the loopy feeling, but for some reason they're making me feel loopy. And I suspect it is interacting with the other drug. So that's my regimen. It's a lot, I know, and I'm just excited to see what Dr. Zhang's gonna say, what he might prescribe in addition, what he might say, we don't need, and I'll keep everyone posted when I get that information, hopefully get an appointment with him soon. So unfortunately, because of some of the stuff we were doing, we have seen a bit of growth. It's hard to tell with the primary tumor if it's growing because I'm losing, a lot of weight, so my body's changing. With the lymph node, it definitely feels the major one involved. It definitely feels like it's grown. So that's why, we've been doing our own research and, ultimately asking God for guidance. I'm always doing that, trusting myself too, and trusting the science. I reached out to an acupuncture and like chiropractic place here that was highly recommended. And because I was no longer working with the doctor in Minnesota and had done my own research, the office manager, I believe she was, ultimately told me that they didn't want to work with me and that we need to trust the education and expertise of professionals or medical professionals. Otherwise, it doesn't work. And I actually found that to be very hurtful. And then I was just like, I'm just going to let it go because that's my new perspective. But we can't just do that. We can't just blindly trust because look what happens. And that naturopathic doctor had told me that he had young girls with this one that had perished when they didn't do the chemo, but maybe that was because they weren't doing the right thing. I've been so grateful for the support I have had from family and friends. When you get cancer, you really start to realize who is on your team, and I'm just more grateful than ever for people who have shown me acts of kindness, have done things for me and my family during this time. It's very stressful. We're occupied. And I'm so thankful and will forever cherish those people in my life. And I look forward to your comments. I look forward to sharing progress as it comes. Bye-bye.